Hey guys, welcome to Backyard Beer Brothers. My name's Rory Doherty, and in today's episode we've dropped the backyard shed and we're filming from Pattaya, Thailand. So it's a hard job being here, but someone's got to do it, I suppose. But while I'm here, I'm also going to be trying a number of their craft beers, and I've got a pretty awesome sounding and looking beer right here. So this is from the Thailand Asia Pacific Brewing Company, and this is their Siam Weizen beer. So I'll get it out, get it into a glass. We're going to have a smell and a taste, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But to be honest, so far I've been pretty happy with the different craft beers I've tried while over here. As well as that, I've got a newfound, say love, but it could also be love for these Weizen wheat beers. But look at that. Damn, she's looking pretty cloudy, straw color, looking good, and it smells good too. It smells like what you'd expect from a wheat beer, but there's also a little bit of citrus coming through, and I'll explain where that's coming from in a second. White head dissipated pretty quickly, but let's get into it. Cheers. It is it is like nice and refreshing, and like now the flavor has changed, and there is like a citrus flavor in there, but there was almost like sounds kind of terrible, but the first thing that came to mind was like a like a tire tread kind of taste. Like, hang on. I don't know where that came from. Maybe it's like a lime rind kind of taste, but it's like very mild. All the other profiles you expect to get from a wheat beer are there as well. So super refreshing. But let me explain a little bit more about it. This is from their Cheers range, and it says, the Cheers selection range innovates Thai beer by combining internationally recognized brewing standards and signature Thai ingredients. So in Siam Weizen beer, internationally sourced wheat, malt and hops meet Thai lime to create a giant wall of flavor, brewed in the style of German wheat beer. Now the giant's mask is an ancient Siamese symbol of power. Sometimes, if you turn it towards other beers, you'll see them tremble in fear. I don't know about that. But again, the Cheers selection have awesome can art. Check that out. If I was watching this review, I'd be like, bro, you make it sound good, but then you say it tastes like tire tread. And I don't know. How the hell do I know what tire tread tastes like? Man, I remember there was this one. I used to live on an island in northern Queensland, Australia, called Hamilton Island. This was when I was 19 and 20. I was there for almost 2 years, and like alcoholism was through the roof there, like getting pissed all the time. As well as that, I was working in a bar and a restaurant, and I would work was it Sunday through Thursday, so I'd have every Friday and Saturday off, which was awesome for me at the time, but like terrible for my liver, because it just meant that we would just sort of drink all day Friday, all day Saturday. I'll turn up to work on a Sunday. And what was crazy was, we used to, when I was working in the bar there, whoever started the shift, and I was working mornings, so I'd usually be the guy that did the starting. You'd have to set the bar up, that was fine. You'd have to chop all the fruit up for all the different cocktails, etc. That wasn't too bad either. But you also had to make a cocktail of the day. And there was just all these different cocktails that people would use. Like, it couldn't be something from our main list, but there would be all these. We had like a sort of card holder with all these different cardboard cards that had all these cocktails on it, but you could make up whatever you wanted. But if you were feeling kind of hungover, everyone talks about the hair of the dog. What we would do is we'd just make what I would do is I'd make sort of 3 or 4 cocktails, and I'd pretend like, I'm just trying to create like a brand new cocktail of the day. There are a couple of managers there in particular that were sort of always on the same wavelength I was. So they'd come in, we'd have a try, end up drinking all of them, but one of them would inevitably become the cocktail of the day. But when you're talking about early AM cocktails, then you're just straight back on that level. And then you'd sort of be having drinks throughout the day as well. Plus, someone else would come in, and then they would be running our coffee machine, and it would just be the other person, my job of getting the whole bar set up. Anyway, so that wasn't what the story was going to be. The story was about the tire tread. Bam, there we go. There was this one night I remember I woke up in my bed like hungover as hell, and that wasn't anything new, but I was in like mad pain, and I think I went to get out of bed and my knee like stung, and then I looked in the mirror and I had like a little cut on my face, and I was like, God, what the fuck? And I felt so bad that I was like, oh man, I don't think I can make it into work today. But it turned out that it was a Saturday. I wasn't meant to go into work anyway. But I still needed to find out what had happened. I didn't have anyone's sort of contact details, so I called up the restaurant anyway. And someone who answered was like, yo, Rory, you okay, man? I was like, bro, I don't even know what happened last night. And supposedly I was so drunk that I was sort of staggering out into the road, and there's no cars on Hamilton Island, there's only golf buggies, and I got run over by a golf buggy. So maybe that's where I know what tire tread tastes like. Yeah, maybe that is. But yeah, the people that hit me, they just boosted, they didn't stop, and supposedly I sort of rolled, got back up and was like, gee, I'm all good, and then just crip walked it all the way home. But let's get back into this beer. I don't actually think I like this beer that much, to be honest. It's just got like a weird, almost like got a, I know what it is because I've tried to make drinks using lime, and if you leave if you use the full rind and you have too much of that white part of the rind left on it, that has like a gross taste that can come through, and that's exactly what this is. Yeah, it's not the one. It comes in at a score of 7.05 on Untappd, 4%, same bottle size as the other one, which is 490 mils. But like, yeah, if ever you want to make something using like the full lime, definitely get rid of that white part of the peel and only have like the color part of the peel. Especially if you're just using like the lime zest, get that, chuck the white part out and use the fruit. But that's what it is. It's got like a sort of unpleasantness to it. Smells good. Like, it's not terrible, but it almost has like a, there's like a waxy crayony-ness to it. And, we've all eaten crayons. Come on, let's just be real there. I don't need to try to come up with a story about me somehow getting crayon on my mouth. We've all been there, for sure. That's kind of what it tastes like. Mixed with a heavy wheat beer that does have so the flavors you'd expect, as well as that there is like a slight spiciness to it as well, but yeah, not the one. No. I'm pretty sure that is what they've done. And I just don't think it should have scored that high on Untappd as well, especially the last one scoring 2.75. Feels like they've been robbed. But that's the beer. Oh, there is still some more left, but I'm not going to drink that because that's not too pleasant. Would I buy it again? Nah. As a gift? Nah. The only thing is, if I knew someone that was collecting cans, I think that's a pretty cool can. You know, in comparison, both of these can art, these are dope. Right? I'm a fan. Would I buy it again? Nah, no way. As a gift, only for the can art, but still probably not. I'd rather get the other one. Scullable, it is scullable. Out of 10, like, I'd probably give it like a 3. Maybe, even less. Yeah, it's definitely never going to happen again. Yeah, let's go 3. Because there's like some elements of it that are kind of good, but there's just, you know, if you're describing a beer and you're using car tire, crayon and wax in the flavor profile, it's not the one. It's probably like a 3-year-old kid going, yeah, no, let's get away from that one. So, beer's done. Got the score, 3 out of 10. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching today. Please feel free to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and as always, I hope you have a good one. Cheers.